Today, we have for you an adventure in the quest for engaging assessment-worthy presentations for our online learning platform. Our students are required to make presentations in many of their courses, and it is a competency that is measured in our CAGS-wide assessment reports. It is also only right that we as staff and faculty know how to do what we expect our students to do. This is not as easy as it sounds. Unfortunately, we have not yet found a solution that easily and adequately affords our students the opportunity to demonstrate the oral and personal skills components in their presentations. Here we seek the questions and bring you tips and tricks from thought leaders in presenting powerful, positive, participatory, plugged-in presentations. You know you want to, but how? Before we answer, we invite you to play a game with us. Please pay close attention, find the errors present in the presentation, note them down, and we'll discuss them later. There are so many would-be vendors and platforms to create and upload presentations, it can be overwhelming. I'm using EasyVid, but there are many others. We still use the old standby PowerPoint more often than not. It's functional, and the beauty is it is pervasive, well-supported, flexible, and easy to use. But somehow we need more. In our courses, we need a way for students to present themselves presenting, and that seems to be a real trick. Matthew 7:7 says, "Seek and you will find." I think we can apply that to tools that support the mission here at CCU. Some interesting resources to explore can be found, for example, at the Cool Tools for Schools site, shown here. Click on the link and go to the web page. We can scroll down and see all kinds of different software alternatives. Prezi, My Brainshark Slide, Rocket Slide Share, Slide Boom, and on and on. Lots of options to explore. But what makes for a good online presentation? The answer is, it depends, of course. But first, let's start with the basics. Who is your audience and what is the context? You want to be very clear, not too wordy. Reynolds says you might start with a declarative sentence rather than a title. Keep it simple, but not simplistic. Are you talking calculus, presenting financial statements, or are you giving step-by-step instructions on how to give a presentation online? Who is your audience? With all that said, how do you overcome the distancing that occurs in the online plugged-in world? Where is the interaction with the audience? How do you make your presentation memorable? The folks at Prezi provide some guidance using their experience in human-machine interactions, something they have named Method of Loci, to ensure that viewers will better remember your presentation. As we said before, keep it simple. I guess we need to keep it simple. Create structured text and structured overview. Don't get bogged down or wander. Explore the space. Maybe bullet points down the middle of the page would be best, or maybe there's a whole lot of page left to be used for emphasis if we just gave it a little thought. There's also art and metaphor that might make the point for you. In constructing your presentation, keep in mind that the eye generally does go to the title first. Then the first bullet point sets the tone for the presentation, the abstract, if you will. You can use animation, zooming, to focus the viewer's eyes where and when you need emphasis. Note that the viewer's focus diminishes when it's going down the list. Uh-oh, watch out, you might be losing them. Scenography The study and practice of design for performance can keep the focus fresh and interesting from detail to detail. It's a performance, actually. Simple aids, such as arrows, can keep the narrative going. Viewers can follow along without a lot of extra coaching or pointing. Cluster content. It reinforces meaning. Repetition or similes can help retention. Create structures, flow diagrams, signs, hierarchies, even grids and tables, as long as they're simple, simple, simple. Conclude with a summary overview. You could repeat that beginning main declarative sentence perhaps, and then present the key takeaways. Here are two examples. The simple linear tells the viewer step by step, or the spatial narrative shows the viewer. Both can work. At times, one might be more memorable than the other. Of course, we can also now more than ever add audio and visual to the mix to liven things up. Make your point more poignantly and keep it memorable. Pictures are fun. Watch intellectual property, of course. Music is too. But then, of course, there's the issue of sound. As I'm recording this, I can hear it very plainly. Unfortunately, in the playback, we have issues, and that's something that we still need to address and discover our solution to. Video can be used effectively, but ramps up the difficulty and commitment level on the part of the presenter. Among other things, you might create a representative video with your iPhone and upload it to YouTube, for example, and link to it. Some of our students have expressed a reluctance to use social media, however, so alternatives can be provided. Here, again, I can hear the sound very well as I'm recording it, but in playback it doesn't show up very well. So I'm going to read the script as we play it, reread it. Here we have a model example of a male Homo sapien from the genus Academus professionalis. See how he stares intently at his target and furiously engages the multiple digits at the end of his two prehensile body parts to attack the instrument that would seem to foster communication with its fellow Homo sapiens. The nomadic portions of the metamorphic igneous or the sedimentary deposits from the Protozoa era accumulate no bryophytic plant life. A rolling stone gathers no moss. To sum it up, there are many choices and options, so many in fact that it can be overwhelming, but also challenging in a good way, and even fun. Technology changes, but the basics stay the same. Keep it simple, know your audience, provide value, use the tools and techniques to make your presentation memorable. So, have you been keeping track of the less effective elements? Don't stop now. We'll come back to this at the end. And now, let's hear a word from Katie. Katie, take it away.